This is J5Lover, your #1 Jackson 5 and Michael Jackson fan, and today I'm going to be doing a collaboration with Mirandathemoonwalker and Mjfangirl. We're going to be discussing the movie An American Dream. We're going to be talking about the movie in 3 segments according to each of the Michael Jackson actors.
Hey everyone, it's me, Mirandathemoonwalker, and as soon as you're done watching J5Lover's video, head on over to my channel where I will be talking about the littlest Michael in the Jackson's American Dream series. See you there!
After you've seen my channel, make sure you hop on over to Mjfangirl's channel for portion 3, the finale.
Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Mjfangirl, and after you finish watching J5Lover's video, come on over to my channel. I'm going to be talking about the Jackson's American Dream adult Michael Jackson. His name was Wiley Draper. Awesome, awesome actor. You don't want to miss it. See you there.
I will be talking about segment 2 of the movie, which starred Jason Weaver. Before I get started with that, I'd like to talk to you guys today about this day in Jackson's history. Well, this day in Jackson's history, August 12th, 1978, the single Blame It on the Boogie / Do What You Wanna was number 54 in the pop single chart, and it stayed there for 6 weeks, if you can believe that. 6 weeks. Jacksons could do anything. For those of you who don't know, The Jacksons An American Dream was a 2-part miniseries that aired on ABC back in 1992. Now, of course, you can get it on DVD or watch it on YouTube or probably from a streaming network. In the second segment of the film, you start to see the Jackson 5 go from stardom to fame. It starts out in 1966, which actually the Jackson 5 didn't do their first recording until 1967 with Steeltown, but it starts out in 1966 with them in the recording studio, and you see Jason Weaver playing a young Michael Jackson. Jason Weaver captures Michael's innocence, his energetic enthusiasm, his inquisitiveness, and I think you just fall in love with his acting instantly. You really feel as though you are kind of acquainting yourself with a version of the young Michael Jackson. I love the fact that Jason Weaver also sang all his parts in the movie, which I think is so cool. He has such a great voice, and he was able to emulate Michael's voice so well and so closely. He's also known for singing in The Lion King. I think he's got a great voice, and he is just a top-notch actor, as well as his dance steps. I think he did a great job at emulating a lot of Michael and the Jackson 5's dance steps. Also, you get to see Jermaine Jackson's son play him, and I think he plays a perfect Jermaine Jackson. He looks just like his father did, and he's a great actor too. And it's interesting to see a lot of the emotions in this film. As the Jackson 5 are going from stardom to fame, you're seeing sort of that build-up. You see them perform at the Apollo, and you see them in their VW bus touring kind of the Midwest. And it's so cool to see that moment when they finally get to audition for Motown. Now, auditioning for Berry Gordy, you see, of course, Suzanne DePass, who's played by Vanessa Williams, who I think does a great job, and Berry Gordy, played by Billy D. Williams, who, in the second segment of the film, you notice Joe Jackson is increasingly controlling. You could tell that there's a fear mounting up in him. He doesn't want the family to split apart. He's very concerned about keeping the family together. He wants them to be successful and for things to work out, and he wants to just make sure that they're all settled and the family is comfortable and doing well. And so you really see that, like, when his daughter Rebe gets married, you see how, like, he's kind of worried about, her moving to Kentucky with her new husband, that she's not going to be with the rest of the family in California. You feel like, he's worried about her financial state of being as well. So it's kind of funny to see that. And also you see Catherine's worries too. You know, she doesn't know, like when her sons are on the road, she's concerned about who they're around, who their influences are. She's worried about, you know, where they're going, what they're doing. And of course, I feel like part of that reason was you get to see in this portion of the film as well how religious the Jacksons really were as a family. They were Jehovah's Witnesses, which is something that I personally understand very well. I also grew up as a Jehovah's Witness, and it is a very disciplined and strict religion. And, you know, you see them worshiping at the Kingdom Hall, and you see their daughter Rebe getting married at the Kingdom Hall. And you could tell, you know, it plays a big role in a lot of the decision making that they have, as well as certain things that they just can't relate to and don't understand. Like when they have to sing the national anthem, they don't know the words. They have to have Suzanne de Pascal to find out what the words are because, you know, Jehovah's Witnesses are not nationalistic. Therefore, you know, they also don't celebrate holidays or birthdays or anything like that. So you don't see that in the film as well. So I think that also kind of is portrayed in the film as them not having a childhood, which I would personally disagree with that being the reason why. I think the reason was they were, you know, preparing for fame at such a young age, and they were always rehearsing and they were always practicing. There was very little time for play. Jackson is always making sure that they're rehearsing. He's always making sure that they're on their game. He's always making sure, you know, if they need to go to the studio, they have appointments, they're there, they're doing what they need to do. And I think at times in the movie, Joe Jackson comes across as extremely stern, which he was a stern father figure. But I like that in the movie, they do give you those moments when he has like a really soft moment with his children, soft.
Place you're ever gonna play. The big time. This contest makes stars. Yeah? This contest makes stars.
There was a slight bit of resentment that he had with Berry Gordy becoming closer to his sons as well in the film. You know, Michael is able to kind of get really comfortable with Berry Gordy and ask him a lot of questions about things in the studio, and Joe Jackson doesn't always have the patience for that. And, you know, of course, ultimately Jermaine Jackson marries Berry Gordy's daughter Hazel, and you could tell Joe Jackson wasn't crazy about that either, obviously because that was the boss's daughter, and if things don't go well there, things could not go well professionally, but also because, you know, it was almost like a way of Berry Gordy being in the family, being sort of like another father to Jermaine. So you could tell that Joe was also uncomfortable with that, and he also wanted to really have a hold on his family and keep them together, but ultimately, of course, people go their separate ways, and people do their own thing. You also see an increasing amount of loneliness throughout the film that Michael seems to have. And in this portion, you really see it every time his brothers get married.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay, thank you.
Excuse us, can you look this way for the camera, please?
Michael Jackson himself has commented on that before, you know, that it was kind of hard on him, all those different marriages, and he wanted him and his brothers to always stay together. He wanted things to stay the same. He didn't like when they'd go off and get married. He understood that that's how life is and that's what they had to do, but he wanted the brothers to stay together. They were his best friends. They did everything together. They were completely inseparable. So he knew that each time a brother would get married, it was going to change things. Their dynamic, the family, they wouldn't be living together anymore. And I think that that was very hard on Michael, and you see him grow increasingly lonely throughout the film. My favorite scenes in this movie is when Holly Pete Robinson, who plays Diana Ross, is on stage singing, and she asks Michael Jackson to join her on stage. such a Michael Jackson move. I mean, once anybody gives him a microphone, they have to fight to get it back. I think Jason Weaver did a really great job at portraying that as well. What pulls this portion of the film together really is Jason Weaver. He's just such a top-notch actor. What's also so great about him, as well as the other two actors in the film who play Michael Jackson, is they were handpicked by Michael Jackson himself, which I think makes a huge difference in how they come across in the film. To comment on the clothing that I see in this portion of the film with the Jackson 5. As you know, I'm a huge fashionista, and I feel like they could have actually done better with the clothing of the Jackson 5. Stage outfits and TV show appearance outfits could have been more similar to what the Jackson 5 actually wore. I think it was just kind of like costumey, very Halloween costumey 1970s clothing used in the film, but I feel like they should have used a little bit more clothing that was very similar or emulated what the Jackson 5 actually wore. Maybe even if, since the Jacksons were involved, they could have used some real life clothing I'm sure that they had in storage or something and let the actors wear that. That would have kind of been a little bit more real to life and interesting. There are quite a few inaccuracies in the film, and I don't want to get into all of them. More important in the film than the inaccuracies is just the way that it makes you feel. And I do feel like you can follow your dreams and become whoever and whatever you choose to become, which is why the title is The Jacksons: An American Dream. They're following their dream, and they start from nothing, and they grow to something bigger than what they ever imagined. So I think that that's a key message in this film, is just to follow your dreams. And that is a feeling and an understanding that I think most people can relate to. Of the film ends with Joe Jackson talking to his sons about performing in Vegas and having a TV show. And of course, we know the Jacksons in reality performed in Vegas around 1974, and their television variety show happened in 1976. And then, of course, after that, enter Wiley Draper. Thank you guys for watching this today, and I'm going to make sure to have Miranda the Moonwalker and Mjfangirl's links in my description, just in case you don't know where to find their pages. And also, let me know in the comments what you think about this movie, or if you've seen this movie or you'd like to see this movie. All right, thank you guys. Bye.